What's going on, good people? Welcome to College Football Final Times, the After Effects show. I'm your host, LeBron Stephen, but you can call me LBZ, L Boogie, Big Bron, B Ron, LB, Barani. The choice is yours, but you already knew that. And y'all know how we do. We just gonna dive right in. So I think I forgot we're on episode 112, the college football playoff semifinals. We only had two games this weekend. One game was an instant classic, and the other one was a domination. So let's start off. We had number 10 Miami versus number 6 Ole Miss. Miami was able to pull out with this win 31-27. I really thought this was an instant classic. Miami was able to score with 18 seconds left for the go-ahead touchdown. Carson Beck was able to run in from I believe 3 or 4 yards on second and goal and get the win. I really thought Ole Miss, still fought hard to the end and, had a chance there. Made two big plays on their last drive to give themselves a chance at like I want to say 35-yard line and threw a Hail Mary. And it's a lot of controversy. We'll obviously watch it, but it's a lot of controversy on if there should have been a pass interference on the last call. But quarterback Carson Beck went 23 for 37, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Running back Mark Fletcher had 22 carries for 133 yards with a 6.0 yard average. He toted the hell out of the rock. I thought he ran really hard and was hard to tackle. Wide receiver Keelan Marion had 7 catches for 114 yards and 1 touchdown. I thought he played very well, ran great routes, ran well after the catch. Obviously, wide receiver Malachi Tony had 5 catches for 81 yards. He had 1 touchdown as well. Obviously, that screen play that he was able to take to the house. Malachi Tony has been making big plays pretty much all year long. So wasn't surprised there. Sorry, I am trying to pull my clip back up that we're going to watch. On the other side, Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Shameless went 23 for 37, 277 yards, 1 touchdown. And did he have any interceptions? No interceptions. I really thought Trinidad Shameless played his ass off. He had a hell of a game. He's been doing that all playoff long. Running back Keywan Lacey had 11 carries for 103 yards and 1 touchdown. That was almost a 10-yard average. So Lacey ran really hard. And also I thought Shameless did a great job of spreading the ball around, right? He had 3 wide receivers all over 50 yards receiving. So he did a really good job of spreading the ball around. At the end of the day, Miami was able to come home with the win. It was interesting that to watch Miami's defense, Miami had no sacks. Ole Miss was able to hold Miami to absolutely no sacks. Thought Ole Miss protected Shameless very well. Not to say they didn't get any pressure, but on the other side, Ole Miss defense had 4 sacks. So they were able to get to Carson Beck, and Shameless didn't get sacked at all. So I think if Indiana's looking for some really good tape as far as offense and as far as their offensive linemen, they should look at the Miami Ole Miss game because Ole Miss did not give up any sacks. So I thought they did a really great job there. But this game was a nail biter, back and forth, all game long. Like I said, a classic for the semifinals. For sure. Yeah, but hey, shout out to the U again. They continue to figure out ways to win games and winning all of these close games and able to pull them out. Obviously, quarterback Carson Beck is providing that veteran leadership that is helping and aiding them in winning these big games. And now the number 10 team in the country gets to play for a national championship next week. So massive win for Miami. Shout out to the U. On to the next game, the Peach Bowl. This was a Big Ten rematch, Oregon versus Indiana. So Oregon played on October 11th in Eugene, and this was Indiana's first big win. They won 30-20 in Eugene. And if you remember back in October, Indiana's not the first half of the season was that kind of just like last year, right? They were able to win a lot of games, but when they played bigger teams and played in bigger games, they didn't show up. So this was the first game where everyone was saying, okay, this is their opportunity to go into Eugene, play a top 10 team, and actually get a solid win. And they were able to go in Eugene and win 30-20s. And I feel like this is kind of when all the rumbling started with Indiana as far as, okay, they're a serious team. It's time to take them serious and so on and so forth. But with that being said, it was not like the first game. Indiana absolutely clobbered Oregon 56-22. I mean, this game was not even close. It was 35-7 at the half. Literally on Dante Moore's first play of the game, he threw a pick six, threw an interception to the defensive back Pons, and he ran it back. First play of the game, touchdown, down 7-0. So if anything was going to tell you of how that game was going to go, that first play did. And so, like I said, at halftime it was 35-7. I mean, quarterback Fernando Mendoza went 17 for 20, 177 yards and 5 touchdowns, three incompletions, 5 touchdowns. Yes, Mendoza had more touchdowns than he had incompletions. Running back Kalon Black had 12 carries for 63 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver Elijah Surratt had 7 catches for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Indiana did absolutely whatever they wanted to do on offense. As you can see, Mendoza did not pass for over 200 yards, but he was super efficient, throwing 5 touchdowns. And that also tells you the type of field position Indiana was able to get off of turnovers. Oregon had 3 turnovers. Some were just like one of them was if we could show that turnover where Moore is turning to the right to pass the ball and the ball randomly hits the running back shoulder pads and pops out. Indiana recovers it. So just too many turnovers, not paying attention to the details. And anytime, you come out that first play and throw a pick six, it gets really rough to win games like that. So, I mean, shout out to Indiana, shout out to Kirk Ignati. They really dominated the Peach Bowl and they're moving on to the national championship. So, it's always a great year when a Big Ten team gets to represent in the national championship. Obviously this year, Indiana, last year, Ohio State, where they was able to win. But yeah, just complete domination, complete massacre. Like I said, this game was not close. And shout out to Mendoza for leading those guys and just doing a phenomenal job of leading them. So lastly, we're just gonna take a quick look at this last drive from Ole Miss. If I can get over this ad. But like I said, I thought Trinidad Shameless did a great job of at least giving Ole Miss a chance, on that last drive. All right, so if we look at this last drive from Ole Miss, they take the ball on the 25. And, I mean, I really just thought this was a great play call. So they take the ball from the 25. Shameless drops back, gets it out in the slant, and immediately gets it to the 50-yard line, right? So that's a 25-yard play, and it immediately, with 13 seconds left, gives Ole Miss a good chance to at least get 2 more plays off right to the end zone. They're down 4, 27-31. And he gets another 16-yard play. So now 2 plays, they go from the 25, their own 25, to Miami's 34. So now you only have to throw the ball down the field 33, 34 yards to get it to the end zone. I mean, you can't ask for more, and you have 5 seconds left, right? So you can't really ask for more from the Ole Miss quarterback. I mean, he did what he needed to do. He was extremely efficient in getting the ball to inside the 35 to give them a chance to throw a Hail Mary. Now, let's just watch this last play to see if you think it was a PI. It's a really hard call for the refs to have to make a call like this on the last play. Handsy. So I don't know. See, I mean, obviously you can tell Ole Miss was hoping for a call. Both guys were handsy, holding on to each other. So I definitely think the flag could have went either way. But then if the flag was called and they scored, obviously they would have ended up winning. It's a hard call to make. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should a flag have been thrown, on that last play, or should they have just played it out as they did and Miami ended up winning that game? So that is all I have for the semifinals round. If you are watching this show on YouTube, please subscribe to the Brian Daniel TV and turn your notifications on. If you are listening to this wherever you get your pods, please subscribe to the After Effects show. Leave us comments. And that is all we have. We'll have one more episode. Well, actually, 2 more episodes as we preview the College Football National Championship, Miami versus Indiana. And then after the National Championship, and we'll have to figure out, how we're going to keep the show going in the college football offseason. Maybe we'll do some combine, some pro day and combine episodes as we prepare for the 2026 NFL draft. Then, maybe do like some path to the drafts after the draft as the drafted athletes get ready for their first NFL training camp. So we're interested to continue to, make this content and grow the show, and also continue to try to book guests. That's been a really hard task for us, booking guests to tell their organic stories and tell their after effect of their athletic career. But it's been a super cool journey to start this college football final show and to talk college football. Definitely always been one of my passions. So yeah, keep rocking with us. We'll see you all next week. Peace.